Barakatuh. You're welcome to another episode of Ramadan Faith. And today, inshallah, we'll be discussing a very interesting and knowledgeable topic with us. As we all know, gradually, Ramadan is coming to an end. What extent have you gone with your act of ibadah? Yes, it all feels like it was just yesterday. But alhamdulillah, like I said, it just feels like it was just yesterday. We are now in the climax of the spiritual month of Ramadan. What have you done so far? What have you done so far? Today, we will be talking about the last 10 days of Ramadan. And I'm not alone in the studio. Here with me is my colleague, Noah Aderoju. Okay, can come to the house.
All right.
Like I said, we are at the last 10 days of Ramadan. Today, we will be talking about the glorious and magnificent night that sees the night of majesty and the last 10 days of Ramadan. And also, we'll be discussing about Zakatul Fitri. Yes. So, our two topics, that will be our two topics for today. But first, we'll be starting from the last 10 days of Ramadan. So, we'll be talking about the benefit of it, the importance, what has Allah said about it, what the last 10 days, what it contains, what it is all about, the importance, how big it is, how big do you think it is, or how do you just take it merely with your, like you just count it like a small, it is a small thing? No. So today we'll be discussing with us the importance of it, how it feels, and what Allah has said about it. So can we start?
Yeah, can go on.
Okay.
Bismillah.
Bismillah. So today, I'll be starting with what Allah has said about the last 10 days of Ramadan. The last 10 days of Ramadan, as we all know, we only know that it's just full of Laylatul Qadr. But how important, how big did we know what this night is all about? The night of Laylatul Qadr, the last 10 days of Ramadan, is the day in which the night of Laylatul Qadr will occur.
Yes.
And this night we are talking about, we don't know the day which it falls in. And in a statement that is credited to the Prophet, he said, where Allah said that the night of majesty is a night in which all angels, like multiples of angels, will ascend on the earth. Much more, like more than the pebbles, like pebbles that, just like, let's say stones that exist on the earth. So we should look at how many angels is going to ascend on the earth on this night of Laylatul Qadr. So, as the Prophet is saying, he now said that this night we should look for the favor of Allah, we should seek for His mercy, and we should seek for forgiveness if truly we are in need of it. Because most of us now, we have not been making use of the opportunity we are given in this month of Ramadan. From the beginning of this month of Ramadan, a lot of us have been lenient with it. We don't even know what we are doing. Some people don't even know what we are doing. They are just fasting because they know they said we should fast. So some are just fasting because they said we should fast. Some are not even performing their salat at the right time. Some are not even reading their. Some will be like, I don't even know how to recite the Quran.
What some people do is just make themselves hungry.
Yes,
like
they don't. Yes.
From the morning to night, they're just hungry, not doing any extra thing. Imagine someone fasting and not praying the 5 salawat. What's the essence of the fast itself? Because the basis of fasting is that you must increase yourself in ibadah, and the first point of ibadah is salah.
Yes.
So if you are not fasting and not making salah, what kind of Muslim are you?
So that's where I am going. Like you said, you are fasting and you are not observing salah, just like you are actually like involving yourself in kind of hunger. Really? So you've not been making use of the opportunity given to you from the first day of Ramadan till the last 20 days that that fast now. Now we are at the last 10 days of it. This is another opportunity. This is another lapse that is given to us to perform the right thing that we want to do. If you truly know that you need the mercy, the help, and the need of Allah, just seek for it. Ask more for His help and involve yourself more in the work of ibadah. There are many things that we need to involve ourselves in, like performing salah, reading the Quran, and it is also during these last 10 days that the Holy Quran was also revealed. The revelation of the Quran starts. So now what I'm saying is essence that you have been lenient, you've been lazy from the first day of Ramadan. This is the opportunity for you to start your, like, to just involve yourself more in Ramadan, like in the activities. So as we are saying, the month of Ramadan, the importance of it, how well do you know about the importance of this month, of the last 10 days of Ramadan?
Yeah, to me, let's say Ramadan as a whole is like an endurance relay race. We have the first 10 days, we have the second 10 days, and the last 10 days. So you started with, like, say you started with a levity hand in the first 10 days, you have another person of another 10 days. Then this last 10 days, you put in so much energy, because there is even an hadith that says when the last 10 days of Ramadan is coming, it was reported by Aisha radhiyallahu anha. So when the last 10 days of Ramadan is coming, the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to guard his loins. When they say guard his loins, like when you want to start work, you're now rolling off your sleeves, because he's preparing himself for that real work, that extensive work that is attached to the last 10 days of Ramadan. So what is this thing that when we talk the last 10 days of Ramadan? We say last 10 days of Ramadan, just as you said, it encompasses the nights of Laylatul Qadr.
Yes.
And when we will translate this in English, we call it the night of majesty. Some call it the night of decree. Some call it the night of destiny. Yeah. Because there's so much attributes. There's so much Allah has attributed to Laylatul Qadr. Yeah. So the extent that he even gave a whole surah Al-Qadr. So that's describing that night itself. Because Laylatul Qadr, when ustads, when scholars will explain to us, they'll say it's a night when good, when bad will be turned to good for a human being, even if it has been written in the destiny, even if it has been written in the decree. It is that night that you have a chance to change what is bad in your destiny to
we only have a chance, not like we can change it.
Yeah, we only have that chance. But why not fight for that chance when you know you have that chance?
Yes.
Like, it's something worth working your ass off for, working your head off for.
Yes.
Because just like you said, on that very night, if you are fortunate to be awake, to be doing ibadah that night, thousands, millions of angels will descend to the earth to listen to the prayers, to the requests of Muslims.
Yes, sorry, I want to say something. I just remember that also Allah said that on this night, they make decision wisely because it is a command from them.
Yes.
You said it's the night of destiny. Yes, Allah said that it is a time in which it makes provision for distribution of blessings of life, blessings of wealth, blessings of a lot of things, like celestial successes. So why are we not making use of this opportunity? And I felt a lot of us feels we should just like go to one place, like maybe a masjid, like they used to organize in Laylatul Qadr. You get, like, I'm already going to another some of us feel we are meant to go to a masjid whereby they organize a program. They say Laylatul Qadr is coming up on this social date. What do you think is it really a good idea to actually beckon on? Because I felt a lot of us don't even know what it entails. Then we will just go there, we will just shout and go back home.
To my own understanding, I feel it's like an avenue where these people used to chat. It's because of our laziness as human beings, really. Because ordinarily, you don't need to be called before you start doing like Qiyam Layl, especially in the last days of Ramadan. You don't need to fix a date before you can perform ibadah in the night of before you need to be searching for the light of majesty. You don't need to be called, you don't need to be specially invited.
Yes.
So it's just our laziness and these people thinking of how to charge us to work.
Yes.
Really, but to the extent that these things are going is sometimes it is not serving the purpose most times, because we hear of many atrocities committed in these nights. These their Laylatul Qadr / fundraising / you know, we hear things
most of them use it for fundraising,
Laylatul Qadr / turbaning, Laylatul Qadr / so when you imagine you want to do a turbaning ceremony on a night that you're supposed to pray. They are using like 80% of the time you're supposed to use to pray, using it to do other worldly activities. It is just I think it's a misplace of priority, really. So I think going out is going in a congregation to pray is not a bad thing, but I think it's those more you when you're a conscious Muslim, to be alone in a place to pray, concentrate to your God. That's where itikaf comes in. Yeah, because it is also in these last 10 days that the Prophet ﷺ does itikaf.
Yes,
and
yes.
he
Like
encouraged
he said,
Muslims to
he
do itikaf. His loins, like to prepare. So itikaf is mainly for ibadah alone. You, your God, face him and ask for whatever you want. Do the best of ibadah you want to do. And we talk of itikaf, there have been so many explanations on itikaf. So you do it in a mosque where you can pray your 5 salawat.
Wait, please, before we go to that side, we're talking about people that are actually doing special invites so they can bring people to their program so they can do a particular thing. Do you think those that are going, they don't know what to do? Or they felt, let's just go because it is just mainly for public and we will also be able to like talk. Some people felt that's their own time of worship. They don't have the time. They use the opportunity to go. Is it that they don't know what to do?
Okay, going to the Lailatul Qadr for many people has many reasons.
Yeah.
No, you can't, as let's say for instance as a dignitary and you invite me to a program, a Muslim program. I won't want to deny, I won't want to decline the invite. Right. That's one reason some people might want to go. Some people might say, Omo, I am being encouraged when I'm in the midst of fellow Muslims. Some people go, Omo, there is safu there, oh, you go chow, real chow. That you have many reasons, but I think it's on your part, just like the popular hadith, you are being judged for whatever action you do based on your intention. So it is the intention you take in going for these invited programs, invited Lailatul Qadr programs, or organized ones, because it's not everybody that gets invited. People just say, I hear, they go. So it's just, you be judged based on your intention. I am nobody to say that people should and should not. So I think we should just make sure that our intention for going or not going to this program is sincere. Okay. Is based on what Allah has told us to really do.
Okay. So in addition to what he said, if actually felt going to that kind of place, maybe you have the intention of going and maybe just don't know what you want to do. The Prophet said to Aisha, that it was actually Aisha that asked that, on this night, like on this day of Laylatul Qadr, what should I like? What should I say? What should I do? What should I just keep praying and keep praying? Then Prophet said, mainly said, you just replied out with the what's it called? Askar. That we should always say that Allahumma innaka afuwwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. That's so simple. If you don't even know what you do, if you don't even know what you say, if you don't even know you need anything from God, even if you don't want to ask anything from God, just keep saying that.
Ask for forgiveness.
Ask for forgiveness, because you never can say, never can tell. We can just fall in the night of it, and we can just say, God have really answered my prayer, and you even see the effect on yourself. Really. So this statement is actually very good, because Allah is the most forgiving and He will surely forgive us. Yes. So on this, we'll be right back. Let's go on a short break. So yeah, welcome back. As we are saying, we are talking about how the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tell Aisha to actually keep saying during this period, during the night of majesty. We said Allahumma innaka afuwwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. So this prayer will actually help us, we keep us moving, even if we don't know what you say. I'm saying this because of some people that don't even know what they are doing inside this month of Ramadan. That don't even know the essence of the night of majesty. That don't even know what they are meant to involve themselves in. Some will still be like, I can't just wait for this Ramadan to end. Sincerely, they will even be telling you like this, I can't wait for this Ramadan to end. Even if you can't wait from the first day to the 20th of the Ramadan, these last 10 days, we always wish for it to come our way. We always wish for it not to even go at all. At this point, a lot of people always want to seek this opportunity because it's not enough. It's not it is not even enough.
Because with the blessings that comes with Ramadan, with the blessings that come with the last 10 days, like that duration is too small for a human being to miss. It's too small to even expect us. And that's why we say, like, do your best, because Allah rewards human beings. He is a very, very just God, because in fact He is a God of just. So because whatever you do, He rewards you abundantly. He rewards you justly for it. Because as a Muslim, if you do one good deed, you get like 10 rewards.
Yes.
Now in Ramadan, it is still multiplied several times.
Yes.
Now imagine you just taking that period.
And they said that this particular month, Allah said this particular month is actually equal to like, if like this particular day, if you actually like you are lucky and you were fortunate to meet that night. All what you did, all your prayers, the askar, is just like you worship Allah for 83.3 years. Imagine 83.3 years devotion of worship to Allah.
Like every hour of that 83.3
years. 3 years. Just because you actually met the opportunity of one day. See how big, see how magnificent and blessed this day is. So imagine you now involve yourself. Just saying this askar, even the normal askar that we said, you can just keep saying it.
Do istighfar, do your normal ibadah, but be more of istighfar, because for the Prophet to have prescribed that adhkar, which is basically for requesting for forgiveness, it means a lot. Because in fact Allah knows, His Prophet knows that we human beings are full of sins.
Yeah.
And the only time we get more opportunity to expiate these sins is this night. So be more of asking for forgiveness. Be more of being sober in this month. Be more of repentance in this particular time. Like, let's say this duration of 10 days. Because doing adhkar should not. That's one thing some people misunderstood again. They wait till when they say you need to do it.
Do it, yes.
Do it during the day. Do it during the night. On a normal day, the Prophet said he asks for forgiveness not less than 100 times in one day.
Yes, in a day.
Look at that, the best of mankind. The man that Allah said, your past sins, your present sins, and your future sins, I have forgiven you. He will still request for forgiveness from Allah. Now, is that prescribing again for you to do this sin in this? You should. Like, look at that.
Always be eager.
Several manifolds of
we should actually do like 1,000 per day.
So look, you can do more than that.
More than. Really. So, I guess that would be on the part of the askar. Can we talk about the itikaf now? Like, since we are all talking about the last 10 days of Ramadan, we talk about the beneficial rewards of it, the askar involved in it, what Allah has said about it, how we are planning to involve ourselves in this last 10 days of Ramadan. Then itikaf. Can we just talk about it a little bit?
Okay, so let's talk.
Especially, I don't know if you know about itikaf for women, because a lot of women feel like I want to do it, but is it really encouraging? Okay,
so let's about ibadah really. So there's one thing about ibadah. Want your spouse, that if you are married, or the person that has say over you has permitted you to do it, then you are free to do it. Say you want to do it a calf and your husband says, at this moment, if you are going for it a calf, it will cause a lot of inconvenience. You should not go. Don't say because I am going to worship Allah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you now disobey your husband. You need to get permission of the person that has right over you. So if you are married, that's your husband. If you are not, as a female, that's your dad, your parents, really.
Yes.
So once you are permitted, it is allowed. So but when you get there, that's now the arrangement. You are doing it in a masjid. For even in normal setting, Islamic setting, there should be separation between male gatherings and female gatherings. So there shouldn't be this intermingling when you are doing itikaf. Because itikaf, you shouldn't be putting yourself in state of, say, fitna, cause a fitna to people. So the female side should be separate. The male side. So now let's go to itikaf. Itikaf is basically secluding yourself, like confining yourself to the confines of, let's say, it's physical space, and the prescribed physical space is a mosque, a masjid where they pray salat in Jama. You know, we have different kinds of mosques now. You can have a mosque in your house, and you and your family pray there alone. So that is not really the ideal place to do itikaf, because if you guys are not around, there's no one to pray in that mosque. So it is not completely a prescribed one for itikaf. So for itikaf, pray in a mosque that they pray the 5 salawats in Jama. Even without you coming, that it is sure that a whole day people will pray Jama Salah there. So some people say masjid where they pray Juma, but the most safe one is in a mosque where they pray Salah in congregation. Okay,
what do you have to say about those that actually went so far, like they went abroad, like travel to a kind of place that this place is very far from home? Like some people even go to a bush. Like they will go to a place that also there might be a masjid there actually, but they just feel like this is the safest place and this is the best place for them. Why do they feel that's the best place for them to perform it?
Okay, to my best of knowledge, the place you do itikaf is the mosque where they pray Salah in congregation. Now, wherever that mosque is, however convenient it is for you to get there, that is like a talk of more knowledgeable people. But I can say the reasoning behind that might be that, you know, there's this idea that says the farther the most you are going to pray, the more your reward is, because for every sand you are covering to get to that mosque, they use it to count reward for you. People might want to say, okay, so your intention really. Some people's intention might be, I'm living in Ogun, but there's a mosque here we can do, but I want to go to that UI mosque. I want to go to that central mosque in Abuja because big people are there. Is your intention really pure for going to that far place? So one thing about Islam is that all your actions are judged based on your intention, and your intention must be a class, must be pure, sincere. So going further, I can't really say it is good or bad. I can't really say it is misplaced priority, but it is just based on your intention, really. So when you get there, what are the things you do? Concentrate on ibadah, really. That's the basic point of itikaf.
Okay. All right. So that will be on the last 10 days of Ramadan, and let's move to our next topic. Zakat al-Fitr. But before we move on there, I would like to encourage us out there. Ramadan is coming to an end. We shouldn't say because Ramadan is going to an end, all the things we've been doing, especially those of us that involve ourselves in one act or the other, we should not be saying, Ramadan have come to an end, I'm not reading my Quran again, I'm not reciting this again, I'm not even doing this, let me rest for a week, let me do this, let me do this. No, from that resting, another laziness act is going to develop.
It's going to develop.
Yeah, so I'm encouraging us. We shouldn't say that Ramadan is coming to an end. Ramadan is going to an end. We should stop all the acts of ibadah, like the work of rewards that we have been doing from scratch. We should now stop it at the end just because we are lazy. Because I felt it's laziness, and Shaitan have already been unchanged since then. So Shaitan will just have control again, and we are just giving Shaitan another chance in our life.
It's like losing millions of gold because you are sleeping.
Yes, exactly. So because of this, we shouldn't lose our rewards, and we shouldn't lose our chance and opportunity given to us. Let's all keep let's just keep everything that we've been doing. Let's keep doing it, and let's just keep encouraging ourselves. We can even make plans for it. Really? Yes, we can make plans for it, not because you want to be doing it because somebody is telling you to do it. Do it for yourself. Do it for Allah. Do it for the work of reward that you want to earn from it. So from there, let's move to our next topic, Zakat al-Fitr. I know we will be hearing this from now till after Ramadan. Zakat al-Fitr, Zakat al-Fitr. Some will even be like, I don't have money, I don't have anything, I don't have this, I don't have that. Is it really about it? Is that really what Zakat al-Fitr is? No, so we'll be discussing about what zakatul fitri actually is, because we've said Allah said zakatul fitri is for Muslim to help the poor people.
Yes.
And if you really want to help the poor people, you can't see a poor people out there and just say that take. Some people will even feel like, is this even what I need? Is this what I need? You cannot even use clothes or something. Actually, clothes is actually part of it. But mainly, you should know that food items is the most necessary and important part of zakatul fitri. So we'll be discussing about it. So what was your idea
yeah,
about
please
it?
permit me before I go to talking about zakatul fitri.
Okay.
Now you're encouraging people to do more Ramadan. Yeah, one more thing is that Ramadan is one part doing and another part not doing. You know, because when we start Ramadan, there are many people that have stopped on bad habits.
Yes.
Yeah, people I have stopped watching unnecessary movies.
Yes.
I have stopped drinking. I have stopped committing zina. I have stopped doing all this,
clubs,
going to clubs.
yes,
So yeah, you've been able to do this for 30 good days. That means you can survive the rest of your life without it.
Yes.
So just what you have stopped doing when you enter Ramadan, you can continue not doing it again. So to maximize this motor, use it as a stepping stone to quickly stop all these your bad habits. Now let's go back to zakat al-fitr.
Okay.
So zakat al-fitr is when we call zakat, like let's just split it into two, zakat and fitr. So zakat is a means of purifying one's wealth. Then fitri comes from the word like breaking fast. Because iftar and so fitri is when you conclude your fast. So this zakat and fitri comes when we finish the Ramadan fasting.
Okay.
And it is based on the explanation of zakat al-fitr. One, the purpose of service is to purify your whole 30 days fast. Because as human beings, we come short, like we have shortcomings. Even in our ibadas, it's like doing salah and doing nawafil after it.
Okay.
So now doing the 30 days compulsory fasting. Now the nawafil after that is doing zakat al-fitr.
Okay.
Is to purify your fast. So let's say you have made some shortcomings. You mistakenly say something bad on your fast. You mistakenly look what you're not supposed to do. Look during your fast. Do what you're not meant to do during your fast. So zakat al-fitr is meant to purify it for your personal gain. Then for the people that are receiving it, is to make everybody happy on that day.
Yeah.
Because for some people they have struggled through that 30 days or more.
It's not easy.
It's compulsory. If not that Ramadan is compulsory, the money to get food is even the people that use water for sahur.
Yes.
So and Eid day is a day that everybody needs to be happy. So it's a mechanism to make that balance point, even for that day alone, for everybody to be happy. Someone that is eating gari to fast. Now on the day of fitris, you now saw somebody give him or her rice to cook. You can imagine the happiness. So that is just it. Then purifying your fast, making people happy, and making the world like a better place. Because the quantity of zakat al-fitr that some people will give can survive some people for months.
Yes.
It can change some people's life, really.
Yeah. Because
Allah is just a magnanimous and very, very intelligent God.
Yeah.
All the things He puts in place for us to do as Muslims, when you look at the rationale behind it, it is to make the world a better place for everybody. Now, when it is zakat al-fitr, it is basically zakat al-fitr should be done with food items. During the time of the Prophet, the Prophet said, you do 1 sa of dates. Because date was the common food for them. Now, when they now explain that injunction, is that you use the local staple food to do your zakat al-fitr.
Like wheat, like rice,
like the local staple food. Say now, I am in Yoruba land, what we eat most is rice, do gari or beans or things that people can cook and eat.
Yes, and something you can measure.
Something you can measure, really.
Yes,
That's it.
something you can measure.
So because there is a measurement, they say 1 sa, 4 moods,
Yes.
and something like that.
Because Allah is so great too. He wants us to like do things according to our capability. That's just it. Because I felt someone that is not up to like, he doesn't have much. He doesn't even have 50% of what another person have, and he also needs to perform this zakat al-fitr. That's when measurement comes in, because of the of his own capability. What he can afford
is what he should
do.
Because that is it. Because the injection of zakat al-fitr is just like the normal zakat.
Okay.
If you don't have the capacity to do it, and you eventually could not do it, it is not a sin for you. Okay. But when you have the capacity to do it and you did not do it, that is when it becomes a sin. So who are those that should do zakat? That should do zakat? A Muslim male or female. Because for every humans, you have like that measurement for every head. Yes. Now, who is the person that will do this thing? The person that is responsible. Say I am a Muslim man.
Muslim family for an example.
A Muslim family for an example. Okay. So a family can be as nuclear as you and your wife. Yes. And it can be as extended as you, your uncles, children, your grandparents, your grandchildren. Now, the thing is, you are a Muslim. Okay. Now, do for your own head. Like it is per head. Do for your own. Then those you are responsible for. Your dependent. Your wife comes in there. Your children comes in there. Sometimes your parents can come in when they don't have the capacity to do it. Okay. Let's say your aged parents.
At what range?
Let's say your aged parents.
Okay.
So they don't have that economic capacity to do the country, and you are responsible for them. So you do it for them. So if somebody is, maybe you have a guy, you are the guardian of a child that is with you, and you are also responsible for that child, you are going to do for that child too. So
what if I'm responsible for the child and the child also up to the stage, like is actually
matured
enough,
and he has there are two conditions: you are matured, and you have the economic capacity to do it. Yes. Okay. So if you are matured and you don't have the economic capacity to do it, that is the person that is responsible for you will do it for you. Okay. So that is it. That to just economic capacity and maturity. Okay. So that is it. So you can do it. Then one thing again is that you should not do zakat al-fitr when you have not fulfilled the necessity.
Is it inside the family?
Like for those that depends on you.
Okay.
Let's say your family. Let's say your family now. Okay. You don't have things to eat. Okay. And your salary is just able to cover for your basic need. Let's use salary as for each month. Now it is either you cover your basic need or you do zakat al-fitr. If you're in that situation, it is best
you cover your basic needs.
Cover your basic needs. Because there was an instance where a man committed something that is worth kafara during the time of the Prophet. He came to the Prophet that I met with my wife during Ramadan fast, and the Prophet said, Prophet did not say in the first place. Second time he asked again. Third time he asked again. Okay, so these are the things you should do. Said, I don't have the capacity to do it too. Said, you can do this instead. I cannot do it too. Do this instead. I don't have the capacity. Okay, the Prophet now gave him dates. Oh yeah, take this one, guys. See the Prophet. This date now, even my family and myself, we need it. You can give it to your family too. Okay. And that will serve as your kafara. Okay, the kafara, it covers the kafara. Okay. Now imagine that kafara that is very, very important. Now, say you now have, let's now convert it to situation of zakat al-fitr. That is when you have the capacity. Okay. So when you now have to do it, it is either, if you are in the situation that you are either to do zakat al-fitr or provide for basic needs. Provide for basic needs. Allah will provide in the next time. Okay. Next coming year, next Ramadan, may Allah preserve your life and Allah will provide for you to do it.
Oh wait, before we proceed, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
العسر يسرا ربنا أعلاك قدرا يا إمام الأنبياء أنت في الوجدان حي أنت للعينين ضي أنت عند الحوض ري أنت هاد وصفي يا حبيبي يا محمد يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام عليك يا حبيب سلام عليك صلوات الله عليك يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام عليك يا حبيب سلام عليك.
You're welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. Now, as you are saying, you are talking about the Zakat al-Fitr, the people that, like the person that is responsible for doing or performing for doing it. We stopped at
capability to do it and basic necessity. You should be able to cover basic necessity before you should do Zakat al-Fitr.
Okay, so now I want to ask you about women, not let me say female, women that are singles. Although you said Muslim females and males, women that are singles and do not really have what it takes.
Okay, so let's.
And it is necessary for her to perform.
Okay. Yeah, the points there is that let's say you're a Muslim female. Let's start with Muslim female. So you are now matured, and really is not totally Islamic. So because your father is responsible. Let's do it this way. Yes, your father is responsible for you up till you get married.
Yes.
Now let's say you are an orphaned Muslim female, widowed Muslim female, or divorced Muslim female. Okay, so that's it. Then you're already matured.
Okay. Then
economic capacity comes again. Are you okay? You're already independent at that time. Are you economically capable of doing it? If you are, do it.
Okay.
Because as a Muslim, the first instruction is that is meant for every Muslim, male and female. So now that is covered. You have economic capacity, you can do it, do it. If you cannot do it, that's an excuse for you already. If you are fortunate to have somebody that will do it for you, perhaps maybe you're divorced and your father can still cover for you.
Okay.
Your father can do it for you. Then, or maybe you are widowed. Then your family of your husband or your family can still cover for you.
Okay.
Or you are widowed and your children are already capable to do it. They can do it for you too. There are many places you can explore. But really, if it comes to the point that there is no option and you don't have the capacity, Allah is a very lenient God, a very merciful God. He knows what your situation is, even more than yourself.
Yes.
So once your intention is clear, Allah will surely reward you. You have the intention, you want to do it, but you don't have capacity. Allah will reward you accordingly.
Okay. So when can someone perform this Zakat al-Fitr?
Okay, talking about when to perform Zakat al-Fitr, ideally is when Ramadan ends and before Eid. Okay. So let's say when Ramadan ends,
is it immediately Ramadan ends, or like maybe like 29th of Ramadan?
I'm coming there.
Okay.
By definition, Zakat al-Fitr is zakah for when you finish fasting. So ideally, the timeline is when Ramadan fast concludes before we pray Eid. So then there is now the allowance to go like 2 days before.
Okay. Before Eid.
Before Eid.
Okay.
And that is like say if Ramadan is 30, you can do it on the 29th and 30th. Because maybe you will not be chanced on that day, or the person you want to give it to might not be around and all those things. So you have allowance for like 2 days before the end of Ramadan. So then, but you must do it before we pray Eid. And that is why Eid al-Fitr is always delayed. There are many reasons why it is delayed. One, you need to eat before you go to Eid.
Yes.
Another reason is because it's supposed to allow people to do their Zakat al-Fitr before going. In fact, the best time to do Zakat al-Fitr is on Eid day.
Like
before,
the morning.
Yeah, that morning, before people go to Eid.
Eid.
So it is that delay is to allow for all these things. But if you could not do it till they pray Eid, if you are doing it after Eid, it is no longer Zakat al-Fitr, it is now Sadaqah.
Really?
Which you will also be rewarded. If you are doing Zakat al-Fitr after Eid, no matter the amount, it is no longer Zakat al-Fitr, it is now Sadaqah. You can call it Sadaqah.
But we have a lot of people that do it after Eid though.
Doing it after Eid has gone beyond that, because you know Ibadah is more than just doing. It's doing based on
what
the
is
conditions.
Provided, yes.
What is like
provided,
prescribed.
yes.
So that time has been prescribed already. So if you cannot do it within that time, it doesn't mean that you not get reward. Okay. You get reward for Sadaqah, but not reward for Zakat al-Fitr. Okay. And Allah is the best of knowledge about all these matters.
Alright. Okay. I guess we've covered a lot of things on Zakat al-Fitr, and
last 10 days of Ramadan.
Yeah, and the last 10 days of Ramadan. I hope you guys have actually learned a lot, and I hope it has been beneficial to us all. And alhamdulillah, we'll be coming to the end of the program for today, and I'll be saying a very big thank you to the producer of the program, Imam Oluwatoyin. Thank you very much, and we'll meet again next time and next week. Masalam.
سلام عليك صلوات الله عليك يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام